think, today in the panel discussion, I think we have more than 100 years of experience, basically, right? And, I'm not an expert, so I'm at this very safe zone of, asking questions, basically. So first of all, thank you to all the panelists for joining this discussion. And I think it's a very important topic that we are going to touch upon, which is called as the cyber resiliency. We have been talking about cyber resiliency. We have a lot of our partners who have been talking about cyber resiliency. But I'm going to going to touch base on very specific questions. And I think we are going to get better insights from the experts. I also wanted to see that the clock is really ticking by. We did not really expect the panel discussion to be as short as it's showing on the timer. But then I'll try to see how much justice I could do with the panel. So moving on to so the first question that I wanted to kind of ask Mrinmoy, starting with you. So we are talking about we talk about the shift left approach and early integration. Could you let us know how early should cybersecurity be embedded in the digital product lifecycle to reduce vulnerability and development costs?
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. I mean, this is something which we have been discussing for years together, right? And still we are trying to solve the problem. And that's why you call it a shift left. We just heard about shift right as well in the previous dialogue. But then, yeah, shifting left has always been important for us because the earlier we start identifying vulnerabilities, secure them, close them, address them, the better we can go forward to having our products being released with faster timelines, reduced cost, agility, right? It's all about identifying, right? For example, we in the requirement and planning phase, we do something like threat modeling, right? Just for us to understand that how quickly we can identify the vulnerabilities. Then in the development phase, we can perform static code analysis, right? It's all about being secure by design. The earlier we find it, the better we make our products reliable, products less vulnerable. Because time and again, we have seen that products, even after going through multiple stage of testing and stuff like that, without having complete security focus, have landed into post-production issues, which have led to incidents, downtimes, right? So just to avoid that, we probably should have a security-focused approach, security-first approach, shifting left, right? Our products should be secure by design.
Excellent thoughts. Vibhav, do you want to add something to it?
Sure. So as rightly pointed out, shift left, it actually starts right from your IDE environment itself. Dev, QAT, staging, and production. So it's all about how do you give developers the information that they need in order to implement this shift left. So the developers needs to first, what they do is they should stop downloading anything, a Docker image from the word, from anywhere. Yep. So this InfoSec has to give them a zero vulnerability image, the base image. So once they get the base image, then they have to, once they build their application at the dev staging, dev branch itself, do they have the information required saying that the image that they have built, they already have so many critical high vulnerabilities? Do they have access to auto-remediate those vulnerabilities? So that's where giving the developers the required information has to start right from the development stage itself. So that will help in this shift left. So there are plenty of tools available in the market. And again, I'm talking entirely about your 100% containerized kind of a world. And you have all the tools in place. Again, it's a ideal stage to be in, but this can be implemented when a new application is built, when existing application which are already in production, making those changes is really, really difficult. So as security, we try to keep enforcing, try to upgrade the vulnerabilities, package, upgrade their versions. And also the most important thing is do they have information about the secrets? Have they hard-coded the secrets? Do they have, do they know in their repo that these are the secrets which are hard-coded? They need to move to environment variables. So giving all those information to the developers at the right time, right stage will help us implementing the shiftless security.
Thanks a lot. Thank you so much, Weber, for all the insights, actually. And you said, very rightly said, that it has to be from the ideation phase or from the development stage when we have to build a cyber resiliency out there. Coming back to you, Jitendra, we talk about AI as of now, and there are a lot of AI-driven threat landscape as well. My question is what new AI-powered attacks, vectors are currently emerging, and what are the proactive defenses can actually help organizations to adapt in order to prevent such attacks in our organizations at the moment?
Hi. Yeah, thanks Krishnendu for this question. And I have one question to the audience if you are listening. I know that it is going to be lunchtime. So how many of you think that AI is here to help us? Okay, I think everyone is awake and still waiting for lunch.
Correct.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Okay, so now the point is, if you look at our daily structure itself, and also the news you are getting, whoever is the main helpers of our lives have entire data what we have. Otherwise, they cannot help us. Correct? So how much data we are giving is a point where the security kicks in. So now let me just, I don't want to scare you guys, but there are some points, like the vectors which we can think of. See, the AI is, if you look at it, there is a latest report says that the attacks using AI, it has gone to, can you imagine the percent? One was human, 80%.
That's a big
Can you
number.
imagine that? 1:80, right? So now why AI is it able to do that? Because AI is having the other side of it. We are using it for detection, and AI is using it for, AI can be used for discovery of the security loopholes. So security vulnerabilities can be discovered by AI at 80 times faster. I'm just giving that 80%, 80 times here, but it can be much, much more faster. This is one point which you can think of. Another thing, it is like the robots what you are seeing, now you can see AI generated wars. That means AI generated attacks. Now the point is there is an AI coming in and attacking another AI using the model which is using the vulnerabilities. Can you think about it? Now, other point is, if you look at all these things, if you look, all of you would have heard about malware. The malware, when you see that malware detection, and the malwares are come with AI, it is beautifully scripted, where nobody can actually see that it is not me. It is an AI. Nobody can even think that. When I am calling you, it is me, right? That is how you respond. So that is a malware part of it. And other thing is the models which we are getting into using it. It can get into a malicious way. The models can be prepared before we know it, right? And another thing is the data which is used can be poisonous. The data poison we call. All these things which actually are becoming the vectors, which is thanks to us. We invented AI. AI is bringing up this challenge. Who is going to solve? We need to solve it.
Exactly. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. Mukesh, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, sure. So I think Jitendra touched upon most of the points. I think what I wanted to add is one is the phishing attacks, right? Industry was already grappling with multiple different kind of phishing attacks, and AI has just complicated that with digitally replicating your identity and convincing the audience that it's really somebody else who they are talking to and all those things, right? So phishing attacks have been on the rise, and then deepfake is also a concern. So we have been already hearing a lot of stories about digital arrest and the scams around digital arrest. Imagine that happening with deepfake technologies, where somebody posing as a commissioner of Bangalore and talking to you on a video call, and you might just very well convinced, because you would look for in Google on who the person is, and you would see the same person is talking to you. So I mean, these are some of the scares which AI has brought in, which industry is grappling with even today. But having said that, I think there are a lot of technologies and tools in market coming up as well to kind of defend you with certain such kind of threats in the industry. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot, Mukesh. Shrenik, wanted to come back to you, actually. I think a lot of people have that question about what happened with Cloudflare just a few days back. where a lot of organizations tried facing downtimes and there were some business losses and things out there. My question to you is that I think this has now become a new normal. Certain times there could be instances where some employee might be able to kind of deploy something which can impact the organization as a whole. So in order to ensure that we are absolutely resilient from a single point of failure, what are your thoughts? How do organizations prepare themselves, right, in order to counter such kind of issues?
Thanks, Krishnendu, for putting me on the spot, and thanks for the question, so I can answer that to the larger audience. First of all, we apologize for what has happened. Our main motive is to make internet a better place, right? In the process is what things happen. So a detailed blog is there in terms of what has happened, so I do not want to really go into details, but at a very high level, we use ML extensively on all our services. For ML to operate, we need data and database. Something went wrong on a specific file, and that basically caused down a massive impact in terms of the overall software that operates on our network. So that's like a very high-level summary. To your question in specific, right, and I'll give my personal view to this. I think the overall issue is the businesses are growing a lot faster than what we can handle, right?
Correct.
Any platform for that company. I mean, yes, it was us 2 days back. It was someone else in the public cloud about a month back. And over the last 6 months, there have been several. And this is all because as we try to make it more resilient, as we try to make it a lot more friendly in terms of ensuring that this is up and running, the maintenance changes or any specific change that is getting applied to the network, that's causing the issue. So good news is of the last 6 or 7 incidents over the last 6-8 months across various platform companies, very few or probably no data breaches have happened. It's predominantly on getting onto this maintenance aspect, and then how much can you wait for putting that specific file or a specific outcome that you need to make it resilient, and can you prolong it over a period of 6 months and do it like 5%, and so on. Like, it's getting very difficult. So I think, will we have ever a conclusion to this? My personal view is no. Can it be minimized? Everybody's trying very hard to minimize it.
Correct.
And it hopefully will get to some end someday.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much, Shrenik. I think that also provides all of us the confidence and also to ensure that we have a preparedness even at our side as well in order to reduce the business impacts. Hilal, coming back to you. Wanted to understand can digital first organizations scale rapidly while maintaining robust security? And what are the trade-offs which are unavoidable?
Ideally, yes, they should, and everybody wants to do that. They want to scale rapidly. I don't know any organization that's digital first and does not want to scale rapidly. So, but there are always going to be realistic scenarios in which they may not be able to do so. So primarily, like when they want to maintain security, and there's always going to be lack of resources. There are going to be always challenges related to basically okay, what exactly are they going to be building? And there's always possibility of them pivoting from service to service, function to function. Okay. And there will be releases that will be happening at a breakneck speed. So there's always this challenge of keeping up with the change and at the same time maintain the security. So while in every scenario I would want, or every organization wants to be secure, they want to basically have the controls that are necessary to maintain security by design or compliance by design or automation and AI, whatever it is. So all of them want to adopt it, but it's always going to be challenging given how much they have to basically respond to the pressure in which they have to go to the market as fast as they can. And in that journey, they might actually miss a lot of things which do not align with basically being secure. So a lot of organizations actually understand their risk tolerance levels, and they feel that, okay, the amount of risk I can actually like tolerate, and in case of a breach happens or an incident happens, and they design their security according to that. So there is nothing, no such thing as a like an idealistic secure by design for digitally which are rapidly basically growing. But yeah, I think every organization should aspire to do so, but it's always going to be challenging.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot, Hilal. Coming back to you, Kamesh. Question to you is like, how can Indian digital business prepare for stricter data privacy regulations while building cyber resilient frameworks to recover quickly from any incidents or disasters?
Yeah, that's a very relevant question because as everybody knows, right, know that on November 14th, Indian government has given the approval for the DPDP Act, and we have got 18 months to implement, and it's going to happen in phased thing. But the key thing which I would say, like, which everybody needs to have is like, do we really know like what it means is like storing the data, getting into like data privacy and what we need to store and other things. If you ask me, like, I'll say like most of us are like, most of the companies, I would say like they're not aware of this, or like they're not fully aware of this one. That is because like in our DNA itself is like we generally trust everything. Like we give Aadhaar wherever we want, like people ask Aadhaar, just left, right and center, like we give our Aadhaar card. Because we trust people like that. I mean, sorry to say like, but that's our, what do you call like, that's how like we are brought up and all those things. But now we have been asked to say like, we need to protect the data, what customer is giving, we have to protect and all those things. It's not an easy thing, but that is where like the mindset needs to come. Data privacy or like data protection is nothing but, it's not a technology or like a solution, it's a mindset change which is needed everywhere. While we have like 72 hours to report breaches and all those things, the first thing people have to know is like, why are we collecting data in the first place?
Correct.
Keep the data minimal. Like right now, like people say like, okay, I will collect as much as possible, like your first name, last name, mobile number to everything right now. I mean, all of these things. And we are also happy to give everything, telling somebody will say like, boss, you are selected for a lucky offer. Please give me all the details. We'll give everything, including your father's number, mother's number, first name, everything. I mean, this is something, I mean, it's going to change, but it's going to take a lot of time. Unlike GDPR, which is like more evolved right now, our thing is going to take a lot more time, and starting today, or like it's already started, more and more companies or like people will reach out to you telling like, I am the expert in digital privacy. I will implement for your company. Please give it to me. The more and more companies will come and talk to you guys, but my only suggestion is like, please be careful and please be aware of telling like what you want to protect and how you want to protect. See, that is more important, like what data you are collecting, whether you should first of all collect the data and what purpose you are collecting. You can't collect for one purpose and use the same data for something else, which is already happening right now. But with the new regulation coming in, all those things people have to take care. So my only thing is like people have to keep privacy as the first thing in mind and start implementing it. And it's going to take, my opinion is like it's going to take some more time, but we have to do it in spirit, which is what the most important thing which we have to do.
Thank you so much, Kamesh. Great thoughts coming out from your side. And Mukesh, I want to again come back to you. We talk about unified secure architectures. Now, how do organizations, especially I wanted to touch base on the fintech aspect itself, how do they, you eliminate tool sprawls and improve visibility across cloud, APIs, identities and endpoints, basically, so that there's not too much of noise and you too can try and strengthen your detection and response within the resource that you have?
Sure. Thank you for the question. So I think there are pros and cons of both the sides actually, right? If you consolidate all the tools, then you are relying heavily on a single solution or platform. Yep. And if that goes out, then probably you are in a soup, right? Yep. And as you rightly said, too many tools also causes alert fatigueness, and also tracking the issues, monitoring it becomes a tedious task, right? So, I mean, there are both pros and cons on this, but having said that, I think it makes life easier if you have a consolidated view of all the security aspect of your organization. As somebody as a CXO, for them it's easier to kind of see what are the different issues which the organization is grappling with and where the status quo and all those things, right? So, I think it helps to have a consolidated view, and that's what I think there are a lot of platforms also coming up which promises at least to offer every solution out there, right? Now, you need to always take that with a pinch of salt because it may not be that mature also. So again, right? I mean, it's like a jack of all trade kind of scenario. Also, you might end up with. Right? So
Absolutely.
whether you look at a subject matter expertise or you go with somebody who knows everything, right? So there's always difficult choices for the management to kind of make.
Yep.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, if there is a good tool out there or a platform out there which can consolidate every aspect of your security issues and kind of bring you a consolidated view, nothing like that.
Excellent, excellent. I want even Hilal to just add his thoughts on this particular point as well.
Sure. So, yeah, in some domains and security, right, so it's going to be unavoidable, right? So, for example, identity and access management, unifying, basically the architecture is going to be like mandatory. So you want to basically consolidate your IDs, you want to basically consolidate your service providers and things like that. No escape from that. But do I think that consolidation is the way to go? I do believe that it depends on the problem that I'm trying to solve.
Yep.
So unless like the platform, the architecture that I'm building is actually like modular, it is flexible and adaptable, and it needs to be portable, right? So that's the only way it can actually like get implemented. Apart from that, I don't see any way where the unified architecture actually helps in any way. What could potentially be good for organizations is if they can sort of like understand, okay, this is my tool kit that's going to be used for certain things, for certain use cases. If they take approach based on that narrow use case and point of view, I think that it will be successful. But it's always going to be subjective. It's going to be depending on the use case that you're going to solve.
Thank you so much, Hilal. Thanks a lot. Kamesh, just very quickly coming back to you. We always talk about like, human-centric security, basically. So what role do you think like employees' awareness, trainings, and secure by default practices help in preventing modern cybersecurity incidents?
This is also a very, I would say like this close to my heart, and I would say like employee, I mean, if you ask like which company, like you will say like it is a best security focused company.
Yep.
If all the employees are trained properly, awareness is there and everything, they can take care of all the attacks. So even if you see, right, like, I mean, people will say like, they'll bucket telling like there is people, process and tools or technologies.
Correct.
And most of the times what people do is like, oh, new attacks is coming, so I need to buy this tool.
Correct.
But when was the last time like we step back and say like, okay, when did I train my employees? Awareness is one day thing, whereas the security thing is like every day, like you should, people should showcase in their office. That starts from, right from the security guard who is there manning it, right?
Yeah.
So is there any, what do you call, like a random or like a surprise check happening on a daily basis or alternate basis, like with all teams? Telling like, then people will take it seriously. But the most important thing is like, security is top down. Unless your management is bought into this one, right? Telling like unless your management supports, it's very difficult to implement this with rest of the teams. It should come top down, and the senior management has to support all these things and they have to exhibit. I've seen people, places like where the CEO says like, I will not use my badge, I want to enter the office.
Yep.
All of these things are there, but last thing to, just a point to add is like, I always believe while the technology and tools will solve this, take care of the systems, protect the systems, employees will take care of the business and company. So that is the most important thing, I would say.
Guys, I'm going to take another 5 minutes, please, basically, because, it's not us. It's just that we are falling short of time, but I still want certain specific insights. Maybe we can have discussion about the incident response readiness. Jithendra, maybe you can just touch base on this particular point as to how can, digital first organizations build faster, detection, containment and recovery workflows?
Yeah. So, Krishnendu, this, I think there are multiple discussion on this, but all relates to one point. If there is a traffic light, if there are traffic rules, still accident happen. Yep. So, we know that security is a risk, but we don't care for security. So first is like the resilience. To build the resilience, first we have to start. See, we can talk about tools, but that comes later. So first, whatever has been discussed here. So are we trained on security? Are we looking at the developers who are using or we are building, and the AI models we are taking, or whichever code we are putting, are we clearly saying that, okay, this is a safe code? Do we have a definition of safe code for each organization? I am not talking about a global definition. So that is a start point. Second is like the models and the integration what we are doing. So we are, somebody is telling, okay, you integrate with me. We are blindly integrating. Are we really asking for certifications? And these certifications are valid, are we checking? So these are the second part of it. Then the third one is the tools. So I'm just cutting short, but there are multiple things. But
Correct.
So,
Absolutely.
Yeah. So there are. So let us say you are a little bit progressed on AI base models, and you are already doing it. Then there are tools which provide the platform. It is basically SOAR is one of the the platform you can use, and XDR is another one. So these are actually meant for whoever is ready for getting to the next level. But my take is here, if you are a startup, if you are getting into AI, but just see what you are doing and don't just adopt whatever is given. What you want to do, is it possible? And another thing, if AI is giving something, don't use another AI model to actually evaluate.
Correct.
Instead, you should have your own ways to evaluate.
Mrinmoy, do you want to just add on to this particular point, basically, specifically about how would you manage the incident response readiness from your standpoint?
Right, see, it's all about adding to I think what Kamesh actually said, right?
Yep.
It's all about awareness. During incidents, people tend to respond in an incorrect way. But now, if you champion security within your organization, right? If you have security champions within your development, testing, QA teams, that's what make them aware that how to respond to a situation, whom to reach out to, right? There are playbooks, run books available in the company, but there are no one who can actually refer to those, right? To create that sense of championing along your development testing teams will kind of make you, reach towards an incident response much faster. I'll just stop here because of the time. Yeah.
Excellent thoughts. And Vibhav, just coming back to you, if you can just provide some final insights on security for AI-driven products. Maybe if my specific question to you is how should businesses secure models, data sets, and AI pipelines against manipulation, leakage, and adversarial attacks, basically?
So AI security is pretty new. So you need to think of where exactly you need. So right now, all the LLM models, if you use Claude or if you use Gemini, are using those in your applications. So we are starting to use guardrails in our application itself, which blocks prompt engineering. If somebody injects any slash in their prompt, then it automatically rejects. The application has to be integrated with those guardrails. That's where I think we have to start implementing those.
Excellent. And coming back to you, Shrenik, your closing thoughts on this. You can just probably summarize or any specific takeaways.
Yes, I'll go back onto the question that you asked to Hilal and Mukesh, right? So I believe the most loosely used word after AI is zero trust or SASE. Put the question to the audience, or even you put the question to 8 of us on this panel, each of us will have a different version and a view of what we want to talk of zero trust and SASE. So I think by and large it's a framework, and people are tending to use it the way they think it is appropriate for their business. But I completely agree to the points that both of them mentioned. I don't think there's one platform that can deliver all the services. Even from Cloudflare perspective,
correct.
Yes, there are several services, but have I got a customer who has said, okay, all 10 or 15 of them that you do it, here's a PO for that? No, it's never going to happen, right? So they pick the services that are really critical and important.
Correct.
And I think as the business grows, they evaluate if this is the right service that is getting delivered from a specific platform. So multi-cloud, multi-CDN, multi-SASE environments will continue and will remain. And I think that's the way forward.
Thank you so much, guys. Thanks a lot. I think it's been a tremendous, panel discussion. I'm pretty sure you have taken a lot of insights from this, and feel free to just interact with them. I think, they share a huge, lot of, experience that can really enrich in your, day-to-day implementations and cybersecurity best practices. Thanks once again to the panel, and see you.